That's always a question that's on everyone's lips, really. In as much as you've got yourself the most amazing greeting card collection that you've sweated on for some amount of time, and you've invested hard cash into it, and you're now up and running as a publisher. And we all need extra sales. We need extra sales. He needs extra sales. We all need extra sales. Because I'm a firm believer that if you're not actually selling more products, then you're actually going backwards. Because we actually survive within a very competitive industry. And like it or not, we are first and foremost publishers, but hot on the heels, we're all salespeople as well. And the best salespeople in any sales company are actually the ones whose company it is in many respects. And that applies to everyone here, really. So you're your own best salesperson, like it or not. You thought you were a designer. So in terms of sales, the market has changed, obviously, over recent years. It's become a lot more competitive. It's always been competitive, but it's perhaps become even more competitive now. The good thing is there's lots of young publishers coming into the industry all the time, and that feeds innovation and is great for the market. We all know that the retail market is challenging and has become more challenging. What we must do always is just never take our eye off those sales. And when I've done these sort of things before, it's always the first question that everyone asks is, well, how do I get more sales? We have a team of sales agents. It seemed the logical route for us when we started all those years ago. And it's done us really well for the period of time that we've been in business. So we started with a couple of agents, as most of us do. They weren't necessarily right for our business, I have to say. I knew that at the time. I was just happy to get a second pair of hands, cards in a second pair of hands, who could then go into any sort of retailer and hopefully build some early sales for us. It wasn't until we were about 5 years old that we decided that actually we need to be a little bit more choosy about the agents that we have. Whether we're at that stage we could even go and get some of the best agents was still a challenge for us. We were able to persuade a couple of really good agents to start working for us, and that actually started the ball rolling. As you much to say, well, if you ever get into Selfridges, then you tell everyone you're in Selfridges, and you get more sales. If you land a really good agent, you say the same thing. So and so is working with us. Oh well, if he's working with you or she's working with you, then that's a good thing. And that certainly helped us along the way. I could spend hours going on about the agents that weren't right for us, and everyone will have a list of agents for one reason or another that aren't right for you. One that we had came to see it as an exhibition, several exhibitions. He just smells of TCP. Nothing wrong with that. Not the most expensive aftershave on the market, I know. Anyway, it takes all sorts. So the point of telling you that is it's a journey. It really is a journey. You are very unlikely to get it right first time. You're very unlikely to get it right fourth or fifth time. But sixth time, you may actually begin to get there. It's all very easy for me to ramble on saying all of this now. We have 10 sales agents. They're all very well established. I feel they're the best in the industry. And I tell everyone that. I tell them that. I tell our customers that. I tell our suppliers that. And I think they are very good at what they do. In terms of how we go about getting agents, it really is trial and error. Going and talking to one of your best existing customers on an area that you're looking to recruit for. You now know our range, Mr. Retailer. Who would you suggest would be a good fit for us? Agents have egos just like the rest of us, and they love to be told that they came highly recommended. And so would you be able to meet me for a coffee? Try and see them if you can, face to face. Not always easy if you're trying to recruit for Scotland, unless you live in Scotland. Obviously, then it's quite easy. But it just the way you pitch is so important, because if you take the trouble to go and see them, and it might cost you 50 quid on a return train to go and see someone in the Midlands, let's say, it really shows that you're caring about who you want to recruit for your business, which is pretty important, rather than doing it by post or email or phone. I appreciate you can't do that everywhere, but those key ones is quite important. London was the first one that we took on. The southwest is an important area for us, and Scotland is an important area. It seems to work for our brands anyway. So going and seeing them and building their ego and telling them the philosophy behind your business is really important. So many times I just hear people who say, well, I've got an agent, they don't really do very much for me, but it sort of ticks the box. That's not really going to take your business forward in any shape or form, I'm afraid. As I said at the beginning, it is more challenging, so you're competing with each other, I'm afraid, in terms of trying to get those agents that best fit your brand. You just have to be more passionate than the next person, more caring. You need to try and pay them on time. Cash flow is difficult for any small business, but pay your agents as if they were your staff, because they're the ones that are going to carry on going out there week in, week out for you. It's also a lonely existence being an agent, and so talk to them as often as you can. Weekly is always a good start, sometimes more often. The more you talk to them, the more they're thinking about you, and therefore the more likelihood is they're going to sell more product for you. So it's pretty basic stuff, guys. It's not complicated. It is complicated because it's challenging, and there's not an infinite number of sales agents out there. But it's pretty basic. Once you get hold of the good ones, then don't let them go.